Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you doing? So, new background. I am actually currently traveling. I am in Europe, in the great country of Lithuania. Touching them Lithuanian women as I do. Just trying to spread the seed and get back at the white people that have subjugated my people. That's the only reason why I'm here. Nah, she's over there. She's cool. She's all right. Yeah, thumbs up. Yeah. All right, so y'all know why you're here. Title says we're talking about H3H3 and Steven Crowder. I like this new mic that I got because it has like the echo on it, so it's pretty sweet. But yeah, so I'm sure pretty much everybody watching this already knows, kind of has an idea of what happened, but I just want to give a quick synopsis. Just a little quick one. So, a few weeks ago, Joe Rogan was talking a little bit of trash on Hila, from H3H3 Productions. Basically, it's like, oh, why is she wearing a mask outside while Whitney Cummings was giving a stand-up, show. She's doing a stand-up comedy show in her backyard. And it was during the height of the pandemic, so Hila just wanted to be safe and mask up, And so Joe says something, and then, of course, Ethan and Hila say some stuff. And then, of course, Crowder interjects himself because Ethan starts talking about the CDC and all this stuff. Like, hey, these people that have dedicated their lives to learning this stuff, it might be a good idea to listen to them and maybe wear some mask or something, And it became a huge deal. Like, why would you listen to these people? Oh, because all this conflicting information and this and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, that happens, because science isn't an ideology. Once the data is presented, they're going to go off of what they have. And then when things change, they'll change with it because that's how it works. But for some reason, when, anybody in the CDC or the World Health Organization or whatever, when the stuff starts conflicting, people want to act like it's some big conspiracy or something. Nah, it's just people are infallible. People make mistakes. A long time ago, right? Everybody thought the Earth was the center of the universe, and you know what I mean? And everything revolved around it. And then once people got smarter and better technology, they're like, oh, that's completely wrong. And nobody's like, well, look at these cucks, man. They said, well, I can never trust them again. You know what I mean? It's just silly. It's a silly thing to kind of freak out about. So, Crowder and Ethan have their whole back and forth thing. And then so it comes down to Crowder saying, let's debate, Crowder says this is going to be an easy layup, which if the debate actually happened, it would have been, because clearly Ethan Klein has no business debating anybody in the political sphere or just debating anything. It's just a stupid idea. So it was agreed. And then, of course, it didn't happen because Ethan pulled a little switcheroo, a little Trojan horse to get Sam Cedar to debate Steven Crowder. Or I should say, Steven Crowder to debate Sam Cedar. And if you guys don't know Sam Cedar, you're probably doing by now. I'm sure you've been paying attention to this a little bit. But Sam Cedar, he has a show called The Majority Report. It's very boring. It's very left-leaning. So there's a lot of people that if you're not liberal at all, like you probably have never checked it out. I've watched quite a bit of it. I've always been somebody who tries to watch a little bit of everything and gain different perspectives and see who's making the most sense, who's taking shit out of context, because it's silly to just watch one thing all the time, because you're definitely gonna be fucking wrong a lot. Like if you're just getting your information from just one source, just one, that's no way to live your life. But anyway, so when all that stuff happened, when I saw the clip, I thought it was pretty funny that what happened, and it was really weird to see Crowder act in a very the cutting away of the camera and focusing on his partner or something, his co-host or whatever, and Crowder saying things, really weird things like, oh, I knew this was gonna happen, but then he still kind of had a weird tantrum. Where it's like one of those things, if you truly knew this was going to happen, if you would be prepared for this scenario. And Crowder also admitted that, he caught the majority report. He saw that it was on, you know, just to make sure that like they were going to try to pull a fast one. And what was done was Sam Cedar pre-recorded an episode to play to give the illusion that he was live, but he wasn't. And just to make Crowder feel safer, but just to show you that like, oh, you know, Crowder's paying attention to this guy, Sam Cedar. And even though in this segment and everything, he claims that he's irrelevant essentially. And the reason why he's never debated Sam Cedar before, even though everyone talks about it, like debate Sam Cedar, like don't be a coward, because it was supposed to happen before at one of the, Politicon? And then the Politicon people said that Crowder backed out, got cold feet. Basically, he bitched out. And so everybody, ever since then, has been saying, debate him, debate him, debate him. Crowder says that, it was never booked or anything. I'm 1 billion% sure he's lying. Political had nothing to gain by saying Steven Crowder backed out. There was nothing to gain. There was no reason for them to just say that for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't benefit them to lie. It benefits Crowder to lie, though. To pretend that, like, oh, it wasn't booked. I didn't back out. So it makes a lot of sense when you use Occam's razor. Who's the one who's lying and who's telling the truth? It's obvious. It's one of those obvious things. Now, I want to dive a little bit into the scenario of what people are saying about the Trojan horse and then the whole trolling and all that stuff, because there's a lot of people that are conservatives or that like Steven Crowder that are saying Ethan is a coward. What a scumbag, what a terrible person. I can't believe he would do this. This was supposed to be a debate agreed upon. All this stuff that, to be honest, sounds really stupid to me. Now, I meant to preface this in the beginning of the video, but I'm just going to say it now that I think debates, like I'd say the vast majority of debates, or just really debates in general, are just god-awful. It's just trash. It's always whomever you're rooting for, you think won. It's always, that's all it is. Nobody ever actually wins. Even if somebody actually does get destroyed, whoever's side, you know, it's always like, oh, you did great or something. It always ends up being stupid and people retreating, and there's no growth. You know, I'm always down for conversations with people, say maybe you disagree with, and then maybe you can reach some type of common ground. But debates aren't set that way. Debates are already like, hey, I want to be hostile towards you, and I'm gonna be, and you're gonna be hostile back to me, and we're gonna be very hard-headed, and we're not gonna get anywhere. We're gonna talk over each other, and usually you need a mediator that sucks dick. You know, it's terrible. They're all trash. So the idea that Steven Crowder is supposed to debate Ethan Klein, Ethan's just some fucking, Ethan was the Vape Nation guy. He's the fucking Vape Nation guy, and he just does a podcast full of fucking tea. And Steven Crowder wants to debate that guy? Like, what is that? What the fuck? Like, let's I'm gonna put it in this perspective. I want to put it in this way. Don't pretend it's not Ethan or Steven Crowder. Pretend that it's two people that you've never heard of before, and think of this scenario: a seasoned debater, somebody who likes to debate, who's very quippy, who does a lot of research on the topic at hand, who has prior, you know, experience of doing this, is gonna debate somebody who basically, essentially just jams his finger up his ass. And what was that supposed to prove? And why would you even look forward to that? I saw people in the comments saying like, oh, I was looking forward to this debate. And I'm like, why? Why were you looking forward to this quote-unquote debate? What was going to be good about it? Or you wanted to see like an extreme train wreck? Or you wanted to see Crowder just dance circles around Ethan? Even though I feel like Crowder would say a bunch of shit that is incorrect, in my opinion, because of how confident he is about saying the stuff and wording, Ethan would not be able to keep up. And he would get destroyed either way. It would have been completely stupid. It would have been so stupid. It would have been so pointless and be like, oh, well, that went exactly how we all thought it was going to be. How awesome. Imagine watching fucking anything where you know exactly how everything's going to go. You wouldn't be that interested in it, would you? So I found it much more interesting that Ethan tried to pull a fast one. Do I think Ethan's a scumbag for doing that? No, I don't. Because this was unfair. This was like Tyson versus a 10-year-old. You know what I mean? Like, so the idea that Ethan just treated it as a troll job, I thought it made it much more entertaining, and I thought it was actually pretty funny. And I thought it was actually pretty cool that, hey, Sam Cedar and Crowder talked for 2 seconds, and then of course Crowder just fled. You know, like I said, if he knew there's a big opportunity for this to happen, I don't think he would have fled. I think he would have handled this much more gracious. Maybe he would have actually talked to Sam Cedar, but he had his whole thing like, oh, I don't debate people that have such a small channel. Neither will Joe Rogan or Jim Ben Shapiro or this and that. Like that was Steven Crowder's excuse, saying that he won't debate Sam Cedar because he's essentially a nobody and nobody else wants to debate him. I don't see it that way. I think most people don't see it that way either. I think most people just debate people that they know they can crush. I think it's the same reason why Steven Crowder always does the Change My Mind with all these retarded college students. They don't know what that... They're stupid. They're just barely experiencing the world. And they're not even prepared for anything. And Crowder is prepared. And so when I think about it, and as I'm saying this, it's kind of like, oh, maybe you people really would have enjoyed the H3H3 debate. Because those Change My Mind segments are really popular. I don't know why. I think they're fucking terrible. I think they're cringe. I hate watching somebody who's so well prepared to debate and discuss something with people, and then have people that weren't prepared at all. It's fucking cringy. It makes me like, ugh, it makes me actually cringe. So I'm like, meh. I'm not about that life. I'm not about that. I thought this scenario was a lot better, and I think that Steven should have better excuses to not debate people that are on his level, like intellectually, politically, whatever you want to say. You know, because that's the stuff that I feel like a lot of people that are interested in all the politics really want to see. They want to see Sam Cedar and they want to see Steven Crowder debate the issues about the CDC, mask wearing, or anything like that. And then they can compare and contrast data, notes, and all this stuff and see who really knows what they're talking about. And I feel like the only reason to not debate somebody when it's not going to be a shouting match, or at least it shouldn't be, is because you're not confident. You know, which is my last point. Even with the Trojan horse, if Steven Crowder was so confident about what he knows and what he believes to be true, why should it matter who he debates? Like, it shouldn't matter at all. Like, if you are so confident in your abilities and your beliefs and you have the facts are on your side, it should not matter. It shouldn't matter. So that's kind of my whole take on it. You know, there's a lot of people here that probably really like Steven Crowder, and you're going to side with him because you just like him. But I'd offer you to, just like I said, pretend like it's not Crowder or Ethan Klein. Think of it as it's just people that you don't even know. And if you heard the story that, hey, this guy who's really good at debating, who's really, quippy with his words, wanted to, have an easy layup, as Crowder said, as a debate, just basically mop the floor with him. And so this guy that is completely out of his league tried to pull a fast one, a Trojan horse, to get this other dude that's seasoned as well to actually debate this other guy that's seasoned. Is that the worst thing in the world? Nah, not really. But it is, because a lot of people here, they don't like Ethan Klein and they like Crowder. So to them, it's the worst thing in the world. Ethan is so bad. Oh, I can't believe it. The DMs are leaked. He agreed for a one-on-one. Yeah, no shit. That's why Crowder was mad from the beginning. Crowder showing the receipts does nothing. We know that it was a one-on-one thing agreed upon. We knew that from the beginning. And then Ethan did a Trojan horse. He pulled a fast one. He pulled a troll job. And then he was mad. Yeah, no shit. I don't know what to tell you guys. I thought it was funny. I thought this was infinitely better than them sitting and Ethan fumbling with his words and trying to figure out what he's gonna say, and Crowder just talking circles around him. I think it was way better. So, and to anybody that disagrees, fuck you. I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, I think in this scenario, examining it this way, I think this was the best outcome. I don't think Ethan's a coward or anything. I think Ethan just doesn't give a fuck, because why would he? He's not in this realm. That's not what he does. You know, I think this was the best way to handle it, in my opinion. I think the whole debate culture on YouTube is the dumbest shit ever. I've always hated it. I hate that it was a part of our YouTube sphere, where it's like, debate this, bro, debate this. I'm like, no, you're all a bunch of fucking idiots, and all you want to do is shout. You know, it all turned into that internet blood sport shit, which a lot of people loved it. A lot of people loved it. They really did. It's not really my cup of tea. I'd rather play some fucking video games, to be honest. But that's all I gotta say. This went much longer than I thought. I will have a Twitter trash out pretty soon. Thank you guys for watching, listening, and all that stuff. Share it. Leave some hate comments. I'd appreciate it. It'll help the algorithm. All right. Take care, you sexy people, and I'll see you soon.